So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone from last year. They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining? The MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. That is it.
The Aces are falling apart, and Aja Wilson can't save them. No more super team, just her, looking lost. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Fever, they're cooking up a dynasty. Indiana's rising, Vegas is sinking, and Aja Wilson, she's in big trouble. Let's break it all down.
I mean, obviously, we have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't.
Aja Wilson's empire, crumbling like a stale cookie. The Las Vegas Aces, looking like a ghost town. Half the roster is gone. Like, where is everybody? Somebody put out a missing persons report, because Aja Wilson has been abandoned like a bad group project partner.
Somebody needs to check on anybody that's been a fan of the Las Vegas Aces, because they are going through it.
First, let's talk about Sydney Colson, the queen of vibes, the heart and soul of the Aces locker room. And now, she's about to be cracking jokes on the Indiana Fever bench with Caitlin Clark. That locker room energy just went from forced TikTok dances to actual personality. And let's be honest, Caitlin is about to have the time of her life. Sydney Colson is comedy gold, and now she's bringing that energy to a team that's already cooking. Aja Wilson, losing the funniest teammate on the squad? That's gotta hurt.
And the first thing I see was someone sending me a notification, tagging me in a post. And I saw the post and I was like, no way, this isn't true. No way is this true. But I looked further into it and it was confirmed by ESPN, so I guess it's true. Guys, Sydney Colson, the face of the WNBA, is taking her talents on over to the Indiana Fever, guys.
But hold on, because the pain train is just getting started. Alysha Clark? Gone. She packed her bags, took one last look at whatever's left of that Aces dynasty, and said, yeah, I'm out. Where'd she go? The Seattle Storm? Washington of all places? You know it's bad when people are willingly going to storm for a rebuild instead of staying with the best team in the league. Makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes.
Three-time WNBA champion Alysha Clark is returning to the Seattle Storm. Her agent Jessica Holtz of the CAA told ESPN that Clark did win championships with the Storm in 2018 and 2020 and played a vital role for the Las Vegas Aces that won the title in 2023. Another loss for my Las Vegas Aces. This team is going to be in total rebuild. Becky Hammon is going to have to do something. We lose so many players left and right, from Kelsey Plum to Tiffany Hayes, now Alysha Clark. So many players being gone.
Oh, and we're not done yet, because guess who else left? Tiffany Hayes. Now listen, I get it. Tiff isn't the biggest name in the league, but she was a solid veteran piece. But at this point, we gotta start asking some real questions. Why is everybody running away from Aja Wilson like she's a walking red flag? Like, girl, what did you do?
Tiffany Hayes has just been not traded, because she was an unrestricted free agent, but it is to be expected that Tiffany Hayes to be signed with the Golden State Valkyries.
I mean, let's really analyze this. When you're a so-called superstar, allegedly, players should want to come play with you. They should be lining up at the door like it's Black Friday deals at Target. But instead, they're packing their bags and heading for the exits. The Aces are literally falling apart, and the timing couldn't be more beautiful.
So Becky Hammon said, it's going to look different. It's going to be a different team next year. And my God, Kate Martin, Alysha Clark, Sid, Kelsey freaking Plum, and Tiff. Now, they have their starters for the most part.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the Indiana Fever, the team of the future, the chosen ones. Not only do they have Caitlin Clark, the walking cheat code, but they keep stacking the roster with talent. Fever management is out here doing what needs to be done, cooking up something dangerous while Aja is just standing in the rubble of whatever's left of her squad. This is poetic justice, honestly. For years, the Aces have been running their little two-player game like nobody else matters. A'ja Wilson and Chelsea Gray this, A'ja Wilson and Kelsey Plum that. But what happens when those role players who actually do the dirty work start packing their bags? What happens when you're left with just A'ja Wilson, standing there like she's the only one who didn't get the memo?
We saw it with Sydney Colson, of course, going to the Indiana Fever, and that was a bit of a shock to people, but it indeed happened, and she gets a bump in pay to go to the Fever. Then, after that, Tiffany Hayes winds up going to the Golden State Valkyries. Same situation, she gets more money. And now Alysha Clark has signed with the Seattle Storm.
And let's be clear, this isn't even a cap space issue. This isn't just a coincidence. This is a choice. Players are choosing to leave. Nobody wants to stay and babysit Asia's MVP ego anymore. It's like the league finally woke up and realized, wait, maybe I don't want to spend my career being a supporting character in the A'ja Wilson show. And the best part? The season hasn't even started yet.
I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. Dewana Bonner, Sydney Colson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlyn. You have Lexi. You got the MAGA Barbie. Look, this is going to be good and bad for the Fever. And this is going to be good and bad for CC. Because if CC can't get a ring with the Super Avengers that Kathy and the Indiana Fever has assembled, then...
Imagine how much worse this can get. Imagine more trades. Imagine more exits. Imagine A'ja Wilson realizing she's got nothing left but the echoes of a fake dynasty and some Instagram reels about staying focused. So yeah, A'ja Wilson's kingdom is in shambles. The Indiana Fever are building an army. And somewhere, Caitlin Clark is probably laughing, getting ready to drop 40 on whatever's left of the Aces. If you're an Aces fan, you all are good and you need a hug.
The Aces fans are in mourning right now because the players, their core players that went to the championships, getting them those 2 championships in a row, are all dropping like flies. I don't know exactly the circumstances, but Alysha...
What if I tell you A'ja Wilson is already throwing tantrums? Now, the question is, what is it this time? Did someone take her last fruit snack? Did she finally realize that the Aces dynasty is crumbling faster than a cookie in a toddler's grip? Listen, A'ja Wilson is trying her absolute hardest to keep it together, but it's not looking good. The Caitlin Clark effect is shaking up the entire WNBA, and not even Asia's bestie Sydney Colson can resist the hype. Yes, Sydney. The same Sydney who is supposed to be Asia's ride or die is suddenly out there trying to get a piece of the Caitlin Clark spotlight. And A'ja Wilson is fed up, and the only consolation she could get for herself was posting X. Have you seen the rest of my teammates? Oh no, A'ja Wilson. No, we haven't any. Because they're all leaving you. Kelsey Plum is gone. Jackie Young is halfway out the door. Chelsea Gray is probably somewhere reconsidering her life choices. And Candace Parker already hit the eject button and retired before the whole ship sank. Who else is remaining for you, A'ja Wilson?
Coming in. But a lot of people are blaming A'ja Wilson, blaming Becky Hammon. It's neither. It's neither. Like, why these players are leaving. Why Sydney Colson left. Like, you got to understand what players play for. Players play for 2 things a lot of the time. Money or rings. Or a chance to winning a ring.
The Aces were supposed to be the super team, the juggernaut, the unstoppable force of the WNBA. But now they're looking like a group project where everyone bailed and left A'ja to do the whole PowerPoint by herself. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is coming in like a tornado, selling out arenas, bringing in TV ratings, and making everyone forget about Asia's so-called dominance. And you know that's got A'ja pacing around her house like a villain in a soap opera. And listen, we get it. Losing the spotlight hurts, Watching your best friend chase the new superstar must sting. But Asia, you brought this on yourself. You and your Aces fan base spent years acting like the league belonged to you. You ignored the rest of the talent, dismissed every other player, and now, when the WNBA finally has a true generational superstar shaking things up, you don't know what to do with yourself.
I know that they don't have a GM, and the GMs are the conductors of this train during free agency. I believe Becky Hammon is very integral right now in that part. The owners, I'm sure, are taking a big hand in that. But yeah, they just signed Cheyenne Parker-Tyus to a veteran minimum salary, and she was making, I think, like $200K over in Atlanta, now going down to $78K. I mean, this is hard.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is over here minding her business, selling out arenas, breaking records, and not worrying about whatever meltdown Asia is having on the sidelines. Oh, but let's check in on Asia real quick. Is she handling this gracefully? Is she supporting the growth of the league like a true leader? Nope. She's making snarky comments. She's being salty online. And she's realizing, just like the rest of the league, that the Aces aren't the only show in town anymore. Caitlin Clark is bringing in new fans, new energy, and most importantly, new competition. And that's something Asia and her fans can't handle. So go ahead, Asia. Keep throwing those tantrums. Keep posting those bitter tweets. Keep pretending like you're unbothered while your whole franchise crumbles around you. Because at the end of the day, the future of the WNBA isn't in Vegas. It's wherever Caitlin Clark is playing.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1.
Now, let's get into the Aces and Aja Wilson's fan base because they've definitely helped boost her ego, making her feel like Spider-Woman. Do you still remember when they were all laughing, saying, "Nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark"? Yeah, that aged like milk. Because look around. The Fever is stacking talent like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. And now, the same people who said no one wanted to come are crying that the Fever has too many good players? Oh no, the Fever has too many stars. How will they survive? Meanwhile, the Aces have been running a full-fledged Avengers team for years. But suddenly, when Indiana does it, it's a problem? And let's be real. Who wouldn't want to play alongside Caitlin Clark? The girl is a walking highlight reel.
All right, the jig is up, Kathy. And you guys can call me a hater from what I'm about to say. I don't care. I'm a big dog. I can stand on it. Kathy made the call. Kathy made the call because you mean to tell me that two-time WNBA champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Colson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever? First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign?
To be seriously honest, weren't you all the same ones who had no problem with Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and Asia forming a super team? But now that the Fever is assembling a squad, it's an issue? Nah, keep that same energy, people. It's an energy that needs to be sustained even if it's not coming out from the Aces. And Asia? Oh, she's mad watching the Fever turn into a powerhouse, knowing her days of bullying weaker teams are numbered. The league isn't going to be just Vegas and New York anymore. Indiana is here to crash the party, and Aja Wilson is about to have the same face she had after getting cooked in the finals. The excuses are already rolling in. The Fever doesn't have chemistry. Too many egos. What about the development of young players? Oh, now you all care about development? Cute. Let's be real. You are all just scared. Scared that the Indiana Fever is about to take over. Scared that Caitlin Clark is about to put the league in a chokehold. Scared that all those years of running your mouth are about to come back and haunt you. So keep coping. Keep crying. Keep moving the goalposts. The Fever is building something special, and there's nothing you or anybody can do about it.
Yeah, so, Asia? Nah, this is tough.
Now the question on everybody's mind is, what happened to the so-called super team? 1 minute they're dancing on private jets. The next, they're looking like a bunch of middle schoolers who just realized group projects require actual effort. Talking about how people are haters, when really, it's can you amazing Caitlin Clark came second in the MVP race last year. Second as a rookie. That's like showing up to your first job and immediately becoming the assistant manager. Now, imagine what she's about to do under Stephanie White, an actual coach who knows what she's doing, unlike the formal Indiana coach.
Looking forward to, when you think about Caitlin Clark and a generational talent, and the sometimes overlooked Kelsey Mitchell, who has been like one of the hardest workers that I've ever seen.
Sometimes overlooked Kelsey Mitchell, just pausing it right there because I think those words might have been chosen intentionally.
And let's not forget the fear that is about to be installed into defenders across the league when they realize Caitlin's got the best possible backup squad. DeWanna Bonner? Oh, she's out here ready to guide Caitlin like a basketball Yoda. Sydney Colson? Veteran presence, experience, and the comedic relief every team needs. And then there's Sophie Cunningham. The enforcer, the bodyguard, the first one in and the last one out of a fight. If anyone even thinks about targeting Caitlin, best believe Sophie is storming in like she's in an action movie. No one's getting away with anything under Sophie's watch. You want to play dirty? Cool. Hope you enjoy meeting the floor. The Indiana Fever are coming. They've got the star power. They've got the squad. And most importantly, they've got the motivation. Because when you see teams like the Aces fall apart, you realize the throne is wide open. And Caitlin Clark? Oh, she's about to sit right on it.
Dom, and the excitement surrounding the Fever is impacting downtown Indianapolis. Our Logan Gay joins us live outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse with the Caitlin Clark effect on local businesses.
Oh, it's happening. It's really happening. Caitlin Clark has arrived, and the haters? Oh, they're in shambles. Crying, throwing tantrums, writing essays on Twitter, and for what? The WNBA has never seen this type of energy before, and guess what? It's only the beginning. So, to all the haters, breathe, hydrate, maybe take a nap. Because Caitlin Clark is just getting started, and you all gotta watch every single second of it. Enjoy. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.